Can McCaffrey do it again? It's a coach. You're set for Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. Fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Just a moment ago, the lights, the cameras, the action, all the pyrotechnics, everything was ablaze, everything was allowed here in Bank of America Stadium as Carolina emerged from their tunnel. And we are ready to go as the Panthers get set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead. And we're off in week 2. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Buccaneers heading out. And it's the fifth-year man, Jameis Winston, in charge. And the big key for Jameis this year, just finding a way to avoid those turnovers. They've been his undoing during his tenure in Tampa. It's no secret. 14 interceptions again last year, plus 7 fumbles in just 9 games played.
Ready. Black, what is that? Black, watch the run, watch the run. Flip.
Winston now to throw on first down. This one complete to Scott Miller. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. 17 carries, 124 yards.
And now he's playing.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Carolina getting set to take the field.
Set. 15 line. 15 line. Under 10. Under 10. 10 go.
A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
The throw over the middle, taken in, and this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the second leg.
Allen now looks to throw. Got a man, it's right. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 18 carries, 79 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Kyle Allen, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Scott Miller with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing because to be ahead of a defense that much where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. He was a third-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the first round, late in the first round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd, so a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
54, right 54. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning this first. Don't get nervous.
He can run, accelerating, and off he goes. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. And he's going to wind up getting this all the way down to the Buccaneers' 20. And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing and your tempo. But when you hold it together, you can really hurt them the other way, getting past that first wave.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
On second down, McCaffrey. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Let him know, let him know. Go. 6 guys.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen going for it all. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to fourth down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So no problems at all on that one. And you know there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
It's a quick turnaround right out of the gate because there's a lot to cover in a short period of time. But the best teams, they simplify before they go play that Thursday night game. And they also believe it's way better to get your Thursday night game out of the way early before the body has been through too much. So if you ask people on scheduling, they want to play it early, not late.
This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Jameis now on first down. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Winston now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun to give to Jones. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he gets it down to the 32. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. 36, 30.
This is Jones. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. This is McCaffrey. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, it wasn't so much that it looked like the offense was threatening. They were. I mean, they had great field position, but how about the defense on that one? Huge stop on 3rd down. It wasn't just a stop. Look at the loss of yardage, and it changes the play calling and the thought process for the offense now. Big-time play for the D, and now they have the advantage.
12 yards on the return that time, and out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Winston complete to Jones. Jones hit in the ball zone, and the Panthers have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run with McCaffrey. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. He finds his target. It's Evans. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Yeah, baby.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Open man is Howard, the tight end. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on it. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable second. Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. 5. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are, and now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal.
Check it out, Reed. Wait. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Out of the pistol to give to Jones. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that?
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Cameron Brate, as the first half is winding down, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that makes it a 21-10 game. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment, but first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. In the early window on Sunday, one of the best happens up in Pittsburgh. A big one for the Steelers as they get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. one being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the New Orleans Saints. And finally, on Monday Night Football, Mayfield versus Darnold, round 2, the Browns and Jets from MetLife Stadium. In our game has been Jameis Winston, who's been on target in the first half. His guys have the lead as we send you back up to Charlotte and rejoin Brandon Godden.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. To throw, it's Allen. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. Last week, they got the victory against the San Francisco 49ers. They've got the lead in this one as well right now. From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
All day, dog. Watch twist. Come on. Run back.
Here's Winston. And Blake, the tight end's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
54. Wait. He's crashing. He's checking crack. Check 24. Watch out. Hey, 5 on the play.
Winston now from the 50. This will be caught by Brown. Now Brown, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, and it's third down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, it's Allen. Completes it to Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina! Curtis Samuel, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Yeah, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. A gain of 39 that time.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Jones. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he loses the football a second time. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Winston. This is caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Chris Godwin, his first touchdown here of the new campaign as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes his field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Allen. And he's got his target. That's Moore. The 20. 10. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And they just ran the fly route there, didn't they?
You broke it down perfectly. He ends up catching that one and taking it all the way into the end zone.
Well, thanks. It was pretty simple to break down, though. I mean, that's just a guy going, running on the go route, making a play.
Speed,
kills.
Speed, speed. And what does it do?
It kills.
There you go.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to a field goal. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And now this pass brought in by Brown. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll go again to Jones. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And that is very well done there as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. To throw again on 2nd down. Allen. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd, and they've got the hookup. This is Olsen. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on third. So a change of possession here on the punt. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready. Black 25. 54. White 54. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Flip it, flip it, flip it. Shit. Easy. Hey, 54, right there. 54, Mike. You better be a You better be a
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
Reset. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Winston from the gun on third down. He completes it to Evans. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Green, triple C. We got double up.
Off the play fake, Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Wait. Spot. Wait.
From the red zone now, Winston. And this is caught by Evans. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Well, clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
They come out here in the I. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to run this one in. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll be second and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Antonio Brown, his first touchdown here of the new campaign as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
And this is what coaches talk about, never being satisfied. No matter what the lead, always trying to increase it. You never know what can happen in this NFL.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now Allen. And the tight end Olsen, right side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking where the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable second and 1. Now Allen. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's first and 10, right at the 40. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a first and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on first down is Allen. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Open man is Samuel, complete. 33 yards that time. He had 1 touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that drive, 7 plays in length. 90 ticks to go. Still time, but they need this onside kick. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense,
I got you. Here we go, even. Jumping.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Jones. And an alley to run. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the night as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So now the Panthers down on the scoreboard. 1:14 to go. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery. But first things first. 1st and 10.
Check, walk 54. You gonna see me in your nightmares, son.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey.
Hey, check 24, watch 24.
And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. The Panthers got to go quickly. They're moving with a sense of urgency right now. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Allen going to throw. Got a man, it's right. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
To throw is Allen. And that's complete to McCaffrey. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
54. Check.
5. Allen to throw. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Allen, he's going to let it fly. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
Extra point splits the uprights. So with just a few ticks left, they need a miracle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though. Now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Buccaneers, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Come play me, invite me. What is your PSN?